You're a student from Faculty of Earth Science UMK. What can we call you?
My name is Mages.
Miss Mages. Okay. So shall we start now?
Okay, all right.
Okay. So the first question is, what is Sahabat Alam Malaysia main goal and who is the main target audience?
Okay, I hope you have gone through our website. So in terms of our main goal, it is to create a peaceful and sustainable world based on societies living in harmony with nature. Right now, what we can see, there's a lot of destruction to the environment, and also people living in distress. Environmental health has been jeopardized. Yeah? So we envision a society of people who are interdependent and they live in dignity and with good environment. Okay, and so we believe that whatever that we are doing right now, it will also benefit our children's future and the future generations. So our objective is to ensure that the development choices and management of natural resources taken up by the government or the policies, this should be sustainable and ecologically sound, and it should also be guided by the principles of environmental justice. So in terms of our work, the foundation of our work is premised on the empowerment and mobilization of grassroots communities, these are the local communities, and also primarily the indigenous communities, fishing and farming communities. So we have two offices in Malaysia. One is in Marudi in Sarawak, they are near Miri, and also our main office is in Penang. And our target, as I mentioned, is all the communities in Malaysia, but especially this indigenous fishing communities.
Okay. The second question is, do you have any cooperation with other agencies?
So in terms of agencies, it depends on what you mean by agencies. You see, our work also includes a lot of advocacy and mobilization. So based on the information that we gain through our community mobilization and also our research and the issues that are coming up or brought forward by the communities, then we work in changing the policies, or we campaign for the policies, the laws, and also some of the activities that has to be stopped, like polluting activities, and some that has to be stopped, like polluting activities, and some destructive projects to the environment that has to be stopped. So in that case, yes, we do relay this information or what we need to the agencies. Okay, and so as I mentioned, these activities, it's like a direct engagement with the state government or the federal government and also other civil society. Okay, in terms of the levels of agencies that we work on, it depends on the cases. If it's an environmental issue in the faced by local communities, then we will have to speak to the local authorities, whether they are in compliance, the factory or whatever activity is in compliance with the local authorities law, or they have licenses or not. And then if it is also at a federal level, at the national level, we will have to work on the policies. So in our case, it's just not that we are writing letters or whatever. We will have to have a consultation with the authorities, negotiating and consulting the authorities regarding certain issues. And also in terms of the international level, where it works, we also look into the global trade issues, some treaties, environmental treaties, or treaties that are involving indigenous people's rights. Then we will have to work with a particular agency to lobby for certain conventions. Like for instance, right now we are in terms of the plastic-based issue. So we have been working with local authorities, which whether a premise is licensed or not, or the federal government to look into the policies in terms of the policy for importing plastic waste, and also at the international level to ensure that Malaysia is party to the Basel Convention to ensure compliance to the Basel Convention. So other countries have to comply with the regulations.
Okay, so it is based on the programs. So it is based on the programs and activities.
Yes, and the issues, that we're working on.
So, you have conducted various activities and programs for the past few years. What are the challenge for you in achieving your objective? The challenge.
I will have to speak to you about certain of the issues that we are working on, like for instance, agriculture. Right now we can see the expansion of industrial agriculture, monoculture plantations, which is actually destroying the environment. The challenge that we're facing is in terms of the law, or the policies of the government. What we can see is like, for instance, I give you an example. When I say reserved forest or hutan simpanan, what do you think of?
Hutan simpanan.
Yeah,
hutan simpanan. People shouldn't enter it. Protect. No deforestation. No one can touch it.
Yeah. So this is what everyone thinks. The public will think this is what is about hutan simpanan kekal, but in reality, this forest reserves, permanent forest reserves, unless it is classified as protection forest, any other classifications under the Forestry Act, it is still productive forest. If the state doesn't classify it as hutan tanahan air atau hutan pemeliharaan tanah, it will mean that it is production forest. What they mean by production forest is that forest reserve can be used for harvesting timber resources or used for other purposes, or mining or whatever. Although there is a policy not to mine in forest reserves. So what happens is there is a policy that says weak forest hutan miskin. Hutan miskin. So in that, what it means is the quality of the forest is like not so good. It's not virgin ever. That can be converted for plantations. So this is why you can see macam plantation durian sangking.
Yes.
Kebun. So these are being developed in forest reserves. But you see, in terms of the forest reserves, some forest reserves, actually most of it, we depend on those forest reserves. It has to be pristine, it has to be, like what you said, it should not be developed or destroyed. Local communities are also depending on the forest, and especially in terms of indigenous communities, orang asli here in Peninsular Malaysia, orang asal in Sabah and Sarawak, they depend largely on the forest. And indirectly, we are also depending on the forest because we need water. Water comes from the forest. That is the main place there where water is. We are getting our water from, and also if you cut down the forest, as you can see, like in Kelantan also, there is all this sedimentation, and then it will cause floods. So we are actually dependent on forests to be intact. So that it can give us all this what they call now the ecosystem services from the forest is important to us. So the challenge that we're facing is in terms of the policies and the laws. As you said, if there are policies or laws like environmentally sensitive area, if you have read through the National Physical Plan. So under the National Physical Plan, they say the environmentally sensitive areas, rank 1, should not be developed at all. There should not be no activities at all in those ESA rank 1. But what we can see is there are still plans to develop those areas. Yeah? The things that is not consistent, you have a physical planning law which says you should protect that area, but in reality, when you go on the ground, you see that there is still some development. So these are the things that are facing, the challenges that we are facing. And then, hopefully this is okay for you.
Yes. You answer my question.
Mm-hmm.
So then, how you deal with the issues and challenge?
So in terms of the issues and challenges, we have to look at the policies, yeah, and then we are also we have to critique. There is a critique of the policies. We will give our recommendations to the government, yeah, if it's a case of policies. And then we also have to be alert on what projects that are being proposed. So if it is going to be a very destructive project which is going to harm the environment and public health, then we are also giving our input, and we campaign to make sure that the project does not. If you have heard about the Penang South Reclamation Project, this is a reclamation for 4,500 acres of the sea, southern of Penang Island. So the state government had planned this project since 2015, but till now they have yet to start off with the project because there has been a mobilization of the fishermen, the civil society organizations, yeah, in Penang. And also we also seek solidarity from other groups. So we have these are the way that we deal with the issues and challenge. We mobilize people, and for some certain cases, like in terms of environmental impact assessment, we are not experts in everything. So some of the times we will have to get expert inputs from academics and also other sources. Yeah, sometimes we go for external sources to give input. And in certain cases, we also seek solidarity. If it's a local issue, we seek solidarity from organizations from Malaysia and also international organizations. Likewise, we also offer solidarity to other campaigns, whether local or external.
So my guess is that the challenge and issue occurred because you were an NGO. So from the issues and challenge that you already mentioned, which wouldn't have occurred if you were a government organization?
Okay, one of the reasons that we are facing these challenges is we do not have the power. Yeah, if we had the power or authority, then probably we can settle the issue. But in terms of government organizations, also, if it's a government agency, there is so much of noise on the neighbor. Can you hear that?
Yes, but I still can hear you.
Okay. All right. So even government agencies, you see, there are so many government agencies. So in terms of the Department of Environment, they seek to protect the environment from pollution. Yeah. So they have the laws for that. But then you see, you also have the Ministry of International Trade and Industry. So I can give you an example for the plastic waste imports. Yeah. So in terms of plastic waste imports, who is giving the approved permit to importers to bring in the plastic? It is the Jabatan Pengurusan Sisa Pekerja Negara, Solid Waste Management Department. Yeah. But then when the waste comes in, it goes to some of it is coming in illegally. So that's why the Department of Environment is sending back the waste to the original countries. Yeah. And also in terms of the local authorities. So one organization is bringing in the waste, one government agency is approving the imports of those waste, but the other agency will have to check. So in some cases, it is, do you want development and whom do you prioritize? Which section do you prioritize? Is it the environment? Is it the economy? So environment or economy. So this is also a major some hassle between between the government agencies. So there should be a balance and sustainable development. So what is sustainable? So that is also a question.
Next.
As we already have a government body that is responsible for protecting the environment like DOE, why do you think NGOs like your organization is still important and needed?
Okay, in terms of the DOE, their law is called the Environmental Quality Act. So under the Environmental Quality Act, they also have some limitations in terms of what are the types of industries that which is under their jurisdiction, and also there are certain industries which is not regulated under the Act. And if you can see, some of the issues that they are facing is also, they say, voluntary compliance by some of the industries. Like if you look at the Department of the OSHA law, Occupational and Health Act, so it is mostly voluntary compliance. But what we can say is, like in terms of the DOE, they cannot look at all the issues. So even if a river is polluted, so in terms of what is polluting the river, that they can look at. Yeah. So it is not possible for the one government agency to look into everything, because we are on the ground and we can see that there is still a lot of pollution happening. And also in terms of from years ago, we have been addressing this issue, but what DOE says is that they have limited staff. They cannot be going everywhere to check. And some of these industries, they are operating from remote areas where the government agencies are not going to. And also in terms of the operation of the illegal activities or discharge of effluents, it happens at night. So we, the NGOs, and also community-based organizations, we have to be the what you can mention, whistleblower or the eyes and ears for the government agencies. Yeah. So there is a need for all these NGOs, and we also need to put up pressure for certain policies or laws, yeah, to be reformed. Or if there is no law, then we will have to come up with those new laws. So NGOs like us are needed to do this advocacy. And as I mentioned, this is for the interest of the people and also the environment.
Okay. So last, due to pandemic COVID-19 and movement control order in Malaysia, does it cause other environmental issue or may have caused it to be more challenging than before or even much easier?
Okay, so due to the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, what we have seen is the increase in waste, certain waste, yeah, plastic waste, and also masks. So these are the things that this is unprecedented. Nobody thought that there would be this kind of pandemic, so they were not prepared. So there is a lot of single-use plastics that were being used. So in terms of the protective
PPE,
the personal protective equipment, like not only masks, here you have all those it's a lot of things, the sanitizer bottles and stuff. So all this has become waste. And another issue was online delivery. Yeah, this is people have been ordering food, ordering products through online, and so the packaging waste has also increased. So these are things that has to be looked into. And in terms of littering, that's also been happening. And so during the MCO, at the first stage, when there were no travel, there was this strict traveling restriction. Yeah, at that time we could see that nature was trying to revive, and we saw a lot of animals, and you would have seen all those reports of animals coming out and walking on the roads, things like that. The river was also cleaner because some of the factories had to stop operation, and there was less air pollution because the vehicles are also not out on the road. So science it was, and then we were thinking, okay, so this if it's like prolongs, then our environment will be much cleaner. But no, right after that, it has all become the same. It's like as though it's business as usual. Yeah? And also the amount of waste that was being produced was quite And these are the types of ways that need special treatment. Yeah? So it has been quite challenging for the government also. They will have to look for different methods. And in terms of other countries, they also looked at using reusables or also having proper treatment of all these PPEs, and then which can be later on reused. Yep. So some things.
Yes, we can see that as we can see masks everywhere now. Everywhere we go, we can see masks on the road.
Yeah. Some people, they don't intentionally throw it away, but I can see like sometimes when you're on a motorcycle with the wind blowing, some of this mask does come off, because I have seen. Well, I could see that happening. So it's not intentional, but it is happening. So what we are like in SAM, what we are proposing is use of reusable masks, wash and then you reuse your mask. So at least you are not producing all those waste.
Okay. So that is our last question. You helping us a lot. Thank you, Miss Marquez, for spending your time with us. We hope that we can make a collaboration with UMK and Sahabat Alam Malaysia soon, one day.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
In your final years, is it, Anis?
Third year.
Third year. Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.
Yes, bye. Oh, Anis, if you're lecturer, because we have a project